I mean, if I was still brand new to this game, unlocking the apparently free battle pass they give new players, that thing's got fuse blues. Since when is this dev team generous? Not enough people stuck around to spend money. I probably wouldn't have a concept of the metagame or how new changes are bad, since I'd know nothing but those changes. All I'm saying is this is a pretty heavy accusation, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility, as even American companies like Bethesda were caught botting reviews. Yep, Gaijin and Tarjum are pulling their usual bullshit, but this requires more to back it than the usual fare. Any chance that's against Steam TOS, terms of surrender? Sorry if this is out of place, but if anyone still plays this game, here's a promo code I got included with a mouse. Can't redeem it because of some you logged in with Steam bullshit. Thank you. What's the mouse model? Some 10 piece of trash. I threw it away immediately cause when I tried to sew a 180 in a game, the piece of shit went backwards. It was advertised as a gaming mouse, but that shit would be barely viable for office work. Didn't care enough to check the model. But can you suggest any decent ones under €50, preferably a lighter mouse? Get anything from SteelSeries, maybe a cheap Logitech mouse. Do not get expensive Logitech or Razer mouse, they will double click within 3 months, forcing you to buy a new one. Save yourself headache, just don't. My G600 has worked very well so far for the past 2 years. My Corsair mouse was a piece of dog shit. They use a 1.5mm plastic hex on the mouse wheel spindle to connect it to the scroll hardware in the mouse. It just twisted off with normal use. Russian devs, Russian first, devs last. This is nothing new. They even bought the reviews on Xbox, and I don't know how they do that. Noticed that too. Glad I'm not alone. Yes, currently most reviews are represented there with less than 40 hours. Most of them didn't play for an hour after the like, or only for a few minutes. Surely this can't be true. Oh, it is. Noticed this years ago and even said something. Nothing ever came of it, so I just assumed everyone knew and didn't care. I mean, it's not too hard to believe that they could be real people. This game DOS have a 3.3% player retention rate on Steam based on reaching engineers 30, meaning most players are under 10 hours. Well, can't we make bot accounts to nuke the game? Or some people still like the game, especially if they doesn't spend too much time on it. Optus realize that this game is made by Tarjum and not Gaijin, right? If anyone would theoretically be botting reviews, it'd be Tarjum, and accusing Tarjum of that without real evidence is a good way to get kicked off this subreddit. You don't have a smoking gun here. Still, Gaijin is holding Tarjum on a leash. I agree. There is no doubt that Gaijin holds a metric fuckton of leverage. How else do you explain the rabid state of monetization? It makes me think that the financial parts of a contract was aggressively renegotiated at some point in the last 2 or 3 years.
Tarjum is the developer. Gaijin owns the game and makes the decisions. No, the Gaijin would be the distributor, publisher. This does not mean they own the property. It means they have the exclusive rights to distribute and promote it. The only exception is if Tarjum literally signed away their rights to ownership in their contract. There is no actual evidence they did that can be found on the company websites, associated wikis, and other credible sources. So it is likely a similar kind of deal Steam does with its game makers. Anyway, accusing someone of a TOS violation without legit proof is not something you ought be doing. Publisher. Here you go. They published the game. Managing the Steam page is their business. Let me say this again real slow for you. Publishing something does not necessarily mean ownership of something. Steam is a third party, and without a copy of Tarjum and Gaijin's contract to reference, you can't verify that. Well, time to bot, but the other way. Damn. Guess the snail is not giving up from Operation Salt, the snail that went against them in another Game War Thunder. Since Crossout is still small, compared to War Thunder, it wouldn't be surprising. Why do they go through the effort of botting reviews instead of fixing the problems that lead to bad reviews? They've got it so backwards. They care more about image than actually making something quality. This is something I and my friends noticed when it got fully released on Steam so a long time ago. Basically, I started noticing how every time there was a surge of negative comments due to poor decision-making or just calculated greedy moves, classic Gaijin, there was an almost instantaneous counter-reaction by these shady accounts with low hours. What convinced me was the fact that the flood of positive accounts always managed to squeeze the reviews into the mostly positive territory and never above or below that.